In this video we're going to make an MVC web app which uses a new page. We're going to make a new page within an MVC program. Now this new page, as it happens, is going to be a login page, so that if we submit a bit of data, then it will tell us that that bit of data is okay, whereas if we submit something which is not, then it will tell us that it's not the required format. So in summary, we're going to make an MVC program and we're going to have a new page which will be used as a login page. So for revision, we'll create a new project, an ASP.NET Core web application, click Next. I'll call it MVC login page and put it in a simple folder so we can find it easily. And then click Create. It's an MVC program, so Create again. We might as well test it out by clicking the Run button up here. And eventually we get the standard Microsoft MVC welcome page. Notice the URL, which is on the local server. So just to remind you of the structure of an MVC web app. In MVC we have the M, the models, V, the views, and the controllers. The models, remember, gives a structure for our data. The controllers handle the URL. And the views is really the pages which are displayed. We don't have any models at the moment to speak of. We do have a controller, which is the home controller, and we have some views, which the main one being the index. So let's take a look at those to see how they relate. You will recall that we have a controller page, code page, and we also have an HTML page, basically, which that does the displaying. So you can see here where it says welcome, that displays the welcome. Here here is the controller which deals with the URL. So at the moment we've got a home controller, so that this is the home controller, so that if we type home inside our URL, along with the action, which in this case is, so we say, index. So if I type index as well, and then press enter, then that gives me the index page. So first of all, when the URL is entered, it goes to the home and then the index. So this is the action, the index action, and this is the name of the controller. The controller is called home, and then it goes on to the index page, and this just says, okay, display this particular page up here. So that's the idea of MVC. We don't have an M at the moment, we don't have any models, but basically the model will communicate also with the controller. But at the moment we've just got the controller communicating with the view. I'd now like to make a new page. So what we'll do is place the new page in the home folder or the views. So I'm going to right click on there and add a new item, which is just a new class file. So we're going to, it's a CS.HTML, which is a mixture of C# and HTML page, which is just a view page really, and we'll call it login page, and we'll add that. And so you can see it's been added here, so I'll just open it up and take a look at it. And at the moment, so there's my new page, and maybe I'll just put a bit of text in there, just a bit of supposedly HTML. You can see my login page there, and this is it. And we're going to now try and display it. Look, actually, look how, see how the program is still running, and we're making these edits. Well, the question is, how do we display this page now? Well, let's go to the controller and place this code in here, which is the action is login page, and it returns a view. In other words, it will display that particular correspondingly named. So this relates to this, and it will auto display that page. Well, okay, well, how do we actually display the page? Well, the answer is we go to our URL, and in here we type in the name of the controller, which, just to remind you, is the home controller, which is here, is the home controller, and then the action, which is this thing here. So I'll just copy that and paste it to the end of my URL and run that, and you'll see it brings up the corresponding page and just prints out hello for the moment. So to summarize, this is our controller, which responds to the home bit of the URL, and this is the action, which responds to this bit here, which we can hardly see. There we are, and then that produces this dishes up this particular corresponding page. So far we've just made a website which produces a new page in an MVC. Well, how would we actually, without typing in a URL, how could we actually get this page up without having to type in the URL? And the answer is we need to put a hyperlink inside our index page. Remember, this was our index page. Let me just go back. This was my index page, and what I'm going to do is to put a hyperlink into the bottom here, so that we can click that, and that will also take us onto our login page without going through the URL. The way to do that is to go to, we've got here, this is our login page, of course. If we go to the index page, perhaps we don't need all this stuff here as well, then I can put in this is the usual way we put in a hyperlink with the anchor, and then within that we have this particular command telling us to go to the controller, which is the home controller, which you recall is this controller over here, and then the action, which is the login page. That's the action, which is this thing here. So let's try that out and run it. So I will run it, having previously stopped it, by the way, and then I'm going to run it and then take a look at the index page, and hopefully that will have our hyperlink at the bottom. With that hyperlink, with the text which corresponds to this bit of text up here, go to login page, and that should go off and to the home controller and find the login page action. So let's try it out, and indeed it goes to the login. There it is, and it's actually placed it in the URL as well. So that's how we add a new page to an MVC web app.